Hello, hello, hello. So, I just thought for a brief moment that we seem to be losing money. Have we always been losing this much money? Gotta lose money to make money. That's a huge chunk of change to come in. It's because we're not running pay-per-views. And we're spending a shitload on workers. Anyway. Hello. I thought I still don't have my second monitor. So for those who are kind of like, who are wondering why I've only been doing one save, and it's kind of that 1992 indie, which might not even be out. There's a good chance this video could go out before any of them go up. It all depends on if. So when I start a new series, I stream a new save. I want it to at least get to a solid amount of episodes where I know I'm going to continue before putting it up. Favourite, Thoroughbred's fine. Scoundrel's fine. Aesthetic Crippler, that's a great gimmick. Just change this to Buffalo Boy. Yeah, but it's been a while since I've done this, and I thought I don't have my second monitor, so it's hard for me. I don't want to switch back and forth between tabs and all that stuff. So I just kind of thought I'll do a little save, something where I don't need to go on my phone for. But after a while, I woke up this morning. It's actually later than I thought, to be honest. And I'll just try and use my phone. So QT thinks Bandido's could be a star. Held a bunch of house shows. John Moxley went to Ring of Honor. And Britt Baker's fully recovered. So last time Jericho defeated Scorpio Sky to retain. Dark Order's trying to recruit people. Rhodes says that Jake Hager broke his arm and now he's out for blood. Moxley's declared war against everyone in AEW. The Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny made their debut. So we're getting there. I think roster-wise, is there a way to view? There's a quick roster, isn't there? Yeah. I feel like there's a way to view contracts. Absences, backstage, company, contract overview, there we go. I knew this button existed. So we're paying the most to... Is there anyone we can let go? We are paying AJ Styles and Bayley for no reason. Look at Chuck Taylor getting that chunk of change. Morishima, maybe that was a bad... Maybe I need to let some contracts go when we get to it. But we'll see. So we're currently very prestigious, a lot of momentum, we're medium, we're 8th in the world. Doesn't really seem like too much more to do. How's our backstage? Excellent, perfect. Jeff Cobb, Ray Horace. Always going to be a bunch of people. Do we have a child company? Or a developmental? When can we take over Ring of Honor? I miss having the gifts. Contact and take over. So they do eventually during COVID have some bad stuff happen. We checked the narratives, I remember that happening. So no one gets the night off. Are we always running in Daly's place? Pretty much. Outside of like pay-per-view. I'm happy being here. I believe we have... Do we have a TV deal? Booking team meetings fine. Locker room incidents. Alex Reynolds was brought before Wrestlers Court. AJ found him guilty. Daniels has been passing on tips to Austin Gunn. Emi Sakura has been passing on microphone tips to Riho. Clash between Taz and Excalibur. Clash between Reynolds and Excalibur. Clash between Eddie Kingston and Excalibur. DDP ran some drills for 9 students. Cody ran it for 16. Jungle Boy as a character idea. John Silver as a backstage angle, because Jericho has an angle. Nice. We don't have to address the locker room. So what was I going to check there? I feel like I was going to check something. Not sure actually. Alright, we can just run Dynamite. So obviously we have the AEW Dynamite opening. Oh yeah, I was going to check out broadcast deals. That's a height, pre-taped video. We can do about 2 minutes-ish. Just Jericho, Cody, Mox. We have what we paying Brett. What's he working as? A road agent as well. I think if we just keep him as a personality, then what's his contract? 2,000 a show. That's not bad at all, to be fair. Yeah, that's fine. And then let's consult the phone. I am on 8% battery, so we love that. We go straight to the ring as Dynamite opens for a trio match between the Young Bucks and Natural Dustin Rhodes, Matt Jackson and Dustin against Sammy Guevara, Santana and Ortiz. The Inner Circle is responsible for injuring both Matt Jackson and Dustin Rhodes in recent weeks. Guevara starts live tweeting as he hits a shooting star press right into a super kick party. Dustin grabs Sammy's phone and shatters Sammy's dreams with the unnatural kick. Dustin and Matt lift Proud and Powerful up in the air as Nick dives off the top with a missile drop kick for 2. And right into a senton onto Sammy as Dustin and Matt tombstone Proud and Powerful at the same time. Perfect. Maybe like a 13-minute steal the show. We'll stick probably. Where are the books at? Nick Jackson is there. Matt Jackson, recognisable. Dustin's well known. It's probably Matt Jackson then. Perfect. And then nothing after the match. Straight Trent Beretta against Rey Fenix, the Penta King. Oh yeah, very quickly I want to give a shout out to BWF Crazy 1972 for the follow on Steam Labs, not Twitch the other day. Literally just finished my stream. I still had it open, starting on my tea. Oh, it's a lovely coffee this morning. And made it instantly kind of like followed. I didn't even have a chance to close it and I heard it, so I feel bad that he missed the stream. So Trent against Bandido. We also probably could have this one steal the show. Fenix rolls Trent into the ring and then leaps back to the top and goes for the splash, but lands on the knees of Trent. Trent hits a flying knee followed by a spike pile driver for another near fall. Trent goes for another flying knee but eats a rolling cutter. Then a springboard spin kick. Fenix hits the Blackfire driver for the pin. That's a lovely little Bandido win. Angle after the match. Trent offered a handshake, but Fenix smacked him. Trent lost it and jumped on Fenix until he bailed out as Chucky T held Trent back. But Bandido smacked him. Trent went to attack, but Chucky held him back. Perfect. So is that some kind of like tag team? All Joshi wrestling, that's fine. Dark Order, that's kind of going on. SCU later. Bucks against LAX. Le Champion. Bucks against LAX could probably also have Dustin and Sammy. Yeah, that's kind of fine. King Kong, whatever's happening there. Mox against Omegas, whatever's happening there. SCU later. Chuck and Trent. Oh, are they both already in it? Chuck is. Trent. Perfect. So 3 minutes in the ring. Chuck, Trent, Bandito and Penta. So then go through commercial break. Tony Schiavone waits in the ring as Cody Rhodes makes his entrance. Tony asks Cody about MJF. Tony asks Cody about MJF. And the attack from the Butcher and the Blade last week. Cody points out a scar on his forehead and says that's a reminder of his failure at Full Gear. Cody says the Butcher and the Blade just had to ask for a match if they wanted one, but he defiantly understands the pomp and circumstance of wrestling better than anyone. Cody says they can have a match anywhere at any time. Cody says MJF owes him because he handpicked him when no one else wanted him. Cody says MJF owes him because he handpicked him. He says that people thought it was too short and that it was really hood rich and not rich. You're in the Bush League NWO version of Chris Jericho, he says to MJF. Cody says he looked past it all and thought he saw a bit of himself in MJF. Cody says he knew MJF was a bad guy, but he was his bad guy. Cody offers the keys to his truck and his expensive watch that Tony gave him. Cody says MJF just needs to name his price and he will accept. Owes him. When no one else wanted him. Tony interviews Cody. No one else wanted him. Perfectly. Now we can fit everything. It's a lot easier when I can copy and paste stuff. So Tony Schiavone is the interviewer. The Champion, yeah, Cody's a major, MJF's a major. Cody and Darby are kind of loosely affiliated. MJF is not. Brandy Rhodes is with no one. Dustin with Matt. Nick with Dustin. Perfect. Ortiz. I feel like these alignments do actually do something. King Kong. Brandy Rhodes is with Awesome Kong. That's fine for now. None of these people are really affiliated. Bandito is with Ray Fenix and Penta. Chris Daniels with Scorpio Sky, Frankie Kazarian, Chris Daniels, Chuck and Trent, Isaiah and Mark. Perfect. And then the Dark Order. I forgot Chuck and Trent were also in this storyline. I've got Stunt, Luchasaurus. Yeah, everyone's kind of aligned now. Nice. Tony Schiavone is the interviewer. Cody cutting a promo on Chris Jericho off screen. And MGF off screen. We could maybe put that there just so it kind of splits stuff up a bit. Alex Marvez is in the back with Joey Janela, who accepts... Have we done a Joey Janela match history? Jesus. Company AEW. I forgot everyone wrestles. No, we have not done that match. It's 1 and 6 though. Alex Marvez is with Joey Janela, who accepts John Moxley's challenge. This Mox will have to kill him. Nice. Says Mox will have to kill him to beat him. Perfect. So storyline is just kind of Mox Omega, Joey, support. Alex Marvez is the interviewer, Joey. I kind of miss like youngish Joey Janela, like 2016-ish Joey Janela, to 2016 to 19 to be fair. John Mox off screen. So that's a backstage interview. Perfect. Moxley walks up, face palms, and says kids before walking off. Dark Order vignette. An internet warrior pledges to join the Dark Order, saying he's looking to join for revenge. An internet warrior pledges to join that order for revenge. That's fine, that's good enough for me. So this is a, I don't know, character development, it's pre-taped video, outside broadcast. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson just cutting a promo. Perfect. We then have Nyla Rose against Leva Bates. Eight minutes should be fine. If anything less. Let's make it a domination for Nyla Rose. So, footage of... What storyline is this in? All Joshi Wrestling. So footage of Nyla attacking. It is Shanna, but we're going to do Hater during our meet and greet last week. Nyla, let's just do attacker. Jamie as the victim. Pre-taped video, outside broadcast, and then oh yeah, there we go. After the match, Rose hits a seated beast bomb on Bates. Shanna comes out with a flying crossbody to Rose. Shanna hits a series of chops, but runs into a big power slam. Nyla continues her attack after the match. Jamie Hayter comes out for the save, but gets overpowered. Nice. Jamie and Nyla. Which Jamie photo do we have? If it's the one I'm envisioning in my head, might be too old. Oh god, might be too old of a picture. Oh no, it's not. That's perfect. So we then have Jericho makes fun of Champagne and gets all the people that live here. Jericho makes fun of Champagne and all the people that live there right off the bat to get some cheap heat. Jericho claims 12,000 bottles of a little bit of the bubbly was sold last week. That was such a good bit. Jericho lists all of the people he refuses to wrestle. Including Bucks, Mox, Page, DDP, Darby, AJ Styles. He does list AJ Styles, to be fair, which I think is very funny. Omega, Too Cold, Scorpio. Jurassic Express come out. Lucha says that Marco is more of a man than Jericho will ever be. Jericho points out Jungle Boy and reminds him that he hasn't won a single match. Jurassic Express come out. Jericho says Jungle Boy couldn't last 10 minutes in the ring with him. And they brawl. Jericho lists all the people he refuses to wrestle. Jericho says Jungle Boy couldn't last 10 minutes in the ring with him. Couldn't last with him. That's fine. It's not as crass as it sounds. So Luchasaurus, Marco, Jungle Boy cutting a promo. Chris Jericho also cutting a promo. And then I think we just have Jake Hager. Character development, that's fine. 5 minutes in the ring, serious, that's good. Storyline, the champion, we can kind of just stick Jungle Boy. It's fine. It's fine. We then have Chris Statlander against Hikaru Shida. Great match, very happy with that. Excalibur says that Nyla Rose has been suspended for attacking a referee earlier. Statlander hits a scissor kick for a close near fall. Statlander goes for the Michinoku driver, but Shida rolls her up for a near fall. Shida attempts a suplex, but Statlander blocks it and hits a roundhouse kick. Shida responds with a flying knee, but Statlander comes right back with a Michinoku driver. Statlander hits the Big Bang Theory for the win. Storylines to this, we need to add, no, it's this one. We need to add Chris Statlander, I believe. Because after the match, Brandy Rhodes and Awesome Kong come out. After the match, Kong comes out. Brandy says that she and Kong make up the Nightmare Collective. Brandy says the family's aim. Brandy says the family's aim to grow, and she offers a spot in the Nightmare Collective. She says they will elevate her and lift her up. Kong gets in Statlander's face and holds up a knife. Brandy tells some woman in the crowd screams she wants to join them. Brandy tells security to let her in the ring and offers up her hair to Kong and Brandy. Kong cuts her hair off and this woman joins the Nightmare Collective. Fair. After the match, Kong with Rhodes comes out and introduces themselves as the Nightmare Collective and offer Chris a spot. Kong and Brandy come out, then we can fit spot. Perfect. 4 minutes should do. Brandy, cutting a promo, awesome Kong, just on character development. Same with Chris. That means we can create the stable Nightmare Collective. Presumably, has the music stopped? No. How is the audio? Yeah, it's a decent enough level. Presumably Brandy is the leader, Awesome Kong is the deputy. I don't know. What we just do dark? Darkest Day kind of fits. Faction, disposition, heals. Perfect. So we kind of need a deathmatch, a weird deathmatch guy to replace Luther. Since he's now just kind of retired. He can still be in it. It'd be good to have a different Nightmare guy join the Nightmare Deathmatch guy. Deathmatch guy join the Nightmare Collective. No, that just dropped me charger. My phone's on 2%. I'm trying to do this. This is why we don't do this on the phone. So up next we have Christopher Daniels against Pentagon Jr. Penta, there we go. It was Penta that injured Daniels back in October during the tournament. Phoenix runs in, distracts the referee, but Daniels catches Pentagon trying to use his mic stand and hits an STO. Daniels picks up the mic stand but stops before using it and throws it aside. As the referee throws the stand to the floor, Pentagon kicks him in the nuts and it's a fear factor for the win. Pentagon, tainted win. Nice. I will say, I know these are quite long, but they don't really feel as bad as booking some WWE shows. The Butcher and the Blade do a vignette. They say they're sick and tired of seeing Cody's face everywhere. Butcher and the Blade. You'd think after all this I'd learn how to spell vignette. They say they're sick of seeing Cody's face everywhere. Are they kind of in that storyline? Blade, sporting, Butcher, sporting, the Bunny, sporting. There we go. So is that cold, very hot, a little cold, extremely hot, very hot. Perfect. So Blade, cut a promo, Cody. Oh. Off screen. What do we have Charlie Dempsey on? Oh, he's just under handshakes, that's fine. Just a 1 minute outside broadcast, video, pre-taped, series. And then in the main event, the bad boy Joey Janela against Jon Moxley. Won't be the best main event. Janela against Mox. Back in the ring, Janela hits a flying elbow drop off the top. 1, 2, Moxie kicks out. Moxie rolls to the apron and Janela climbs to the top. But Moxie crotches Janela and climbs up with him. Moxie hits the paradigm shift onto the top turnbuckle, then hits another one for the win. John Moxley, storytelling. As Moxley celebrates, Jericho and the Inner Circle come out of the crowd like Mox did last week and taunt him. The Inner Circle come out in the crowd like Mox. Last week and taunt him. It's Chris Jericho gets cut a promo. Sammy, character, Jake, Santana does a Ortiz, John, Chewy. Does a female ever join the Inner Circle? Just curious, I can't really remember. So we need one that's a wild brawl, mayhem, or car crash. Steal the show. I guess this could be a wild brawl, to be fair. So just on the pre-show, I'd like, let's do a 3v3. Let's have the Blade, the Bunny, and the Butcher take on Brandon Cutler. In fact, let's do Kevin Bennett, Buff, and Shazza. Pre-show, let's stick Butcher over. I would also like to do Charlie Dempsey over face, male, Sunny Kiss. Nice. I will say something, I like that all these pictures kind of smoothly go together. Like outside of maybe Kevin Bennett's, like all of them, they're quite just good pictures. I like the consistency. Okay. Perfect. Let's run this show. 76%, so we're not penalised. Happy with that. Give my phone a chance to charge. Oh. In a bout with Chad, subpar wrestling and a non-existent crowd heat, the Butcher, the Blade and the Bunny defeated Kevin Bennett, Shazza McKenzie and Puff when the Butcher submitted Puff. Pre-show bout which had terrible wrestling and a non-existent crowd heat, Charlie Dempsey defeated Sunny Kiss in 8:05 by pinfall. Got AEW Dynamite opening which did bits, in a bout which had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Dustin Rhodes and the Young Bucks defeated the Inner Circle when Matt Jackson pinned Sammy Guevara with a moonsault. Great match, went down great. Tony asked Cody about MJF. Cody says MJF owes him one because he hadn't picked him when no one else would. In a decent wild brawl, Bandido defeated Trent in 11:51 with a Revolution Fly. Trent offered a handshake but Bandido smacked him. Trent went for the attack but Chucky held him back. Alex Marvez is with Joey Janela, who accepts John Moxley's challenge. Says Mox will have to kill him to beat him. Accidentally did Alex Reynolds, nice. We've got a Dark Order vignette. An internet warrior pledges to join the Dark Order for revenge. Footage of Nyla attacking Hater during a meet and greet last week. In an extremely short match, Nyla Rose defeated Leva Bates in 4:36 by submission with a camel clutch. Nyla continues her attack after the match. Jimmy Hater comes out for the save but gets overpowered. Jericho lists all the people he refuses to wrestle, including the Bucks, John Moxley, Adam Page, DDP, Darby Allin, AJ Styles, Kenny Omega, Too Cold Scorpio. Jurassic Express come out, And Jericho says that Jungle Boy couldn't last 10 minutes in the ring with him, and they brawl. Chris Statlander defeated Hikaru Shida in 11:45 by pinfall with an Area 451. After the match, Kong with Rhodes comes out and introduce themselves as the Nightmare Collective and offer Chris a spot. By which a good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, this did really well. Penta defeated Daniels in 13:22 by pinfall after using a foreign object. We got a Butcher and the Blade vignette, and they say they're sick of seeing Cody everywhere. And then in our main event, which didn't do bits, great heat and decent wrestling, Mox defeated Janela in 21:22 by submission with a bully choke. The Inner Circle come out with a crowd like Mox last week and taunt him. I'll take a 70. Made 87,000, so I'm happy with that. Got a bit of pop up in the Midwest. I'm not used to seeing Manabu Soya without his long hair. Oh. There's a great picture though. Yeah, I thought I'd get a nice little stream in early. Next week, the Butcher and the Blade against Cody and QT, and the Bucks against Proud and Powerful. Perfect, and we've got the next one loaded up ready. Oh, I forgot the simming on this one, it's mental. Just not to put all those... Wait, I didn't put all the companies into this one. I guess there just is a lot going on in this one. Brian Cage, fully fit. He is wrestling everywhere, to be fair. AEW Dynamite. Oh, NXT sent an anti-National Lucha Libre. What's going on with Evolve? Why are they declaring war on everyone in Europe? So, they drew a lot of praise. Great, drew a lot of praise. So we got a 70. Solid. They got 76. Aleister Black defeated Adam Cole and Steve Cutler. Of course, Steve Cutler. It is someone streaming TEW. How are you? I suck at this game. That took me way too long. I was like, as soon as I saw that name, I was like, oh, brother, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that beyond belief. How has this got up to 4 viewers? Andrew. I read that name and I was like, oh, is this like... It's like when I try and read the names of Joshis. I instantly saw a series of letters. And I was like, this could only go well. And I very quickly realised that I suck at this game. A nice little kiss in the middle. How are you, Andrew? How's your day going? Mine's only just started. Yeah. How was NXT? It was fine. I don't think it was better than our show. Though Keith Lee and the War Raiders against Chris Hero and TMDK does slap, to be fair. Who's Jacqueline Huerta? Ah, I imagine she's just a performance center wrestler. Does that say she's 15? Oh, 15th of August. It's an old COD name. That is fair. I do like that bit when you're killed by someone. It's quite a good name. The new COD's fine. I quite enjoy playing the new COD sometimes. We'll eventually have both of these boys in the company if we get there. Your day just started. Nice. To be fair, it is only 10 o'clock. Woke up, cut the grass, sit and chill, and nice. I woke up, fed the cat, thought, why not do this? Everything else seems good. Brian Cage is fit. 171,000, and Bandito is knackered. It's understandable. Can we take him off the house show loop if he isn't already? But everyone's off the house show loop. We don't have a lot of people on duty. Like the people on the house shows have seen Bailey, even though she's probably never going to debut. Where is Bandito? He's off duty anyway. That's fine. I guess we can just sim forward. Wait and see what happens in the world. What are you having for breakfast? I suck at this game. This is my favourite thing to do whenever I'm streaming, is ask anyone what they're having for their tea or dinner. I think for breakfast for me is going to be some kind of something on a crumpet. I fancy a crumpet today. Which, saying aloud, is the most English thing. I am gonna. Well, I'm. From a personal point of view, I believe AEW is better than WWE. At least since bacon and egg sandwich. That fucking slaps. That sounds class. I went vegan a couple of years ago, and the only thing I miss is a fried egg. I believe since AEW's inception, for the most part, there's been a few lulls. I have personally preferred it so much more over WWE. In-game wise, I am going to try and beat WWE. They've had such like a big advantage. Because obviously when I started this save, I don't know how much you remember about AEW's conception, but they would have like All Out, wait 4 months, have another pay-per-view. So you know what this game's like during long stints. It's like I had to sim 4 months forward, and during that time WWE only got better. It only started. That's why NXT's mental. They have like Io Shirai putting on absolute bangers. Yeah, I've fallen off watching modern day wrestling. But at the start I was, this is all I'm back into wrestling. This is all I'm watching. So like booking this now, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, do you remember the Butcher and the Blade and the Nightmare Collective and Joey Janela getting a weird kind of push? I loved it, man. It was class. Now I just can't really keep up with wrestling. Thankfully, in booking this, yeah, I have started to watch more like old pay-per-views than I would previously, just because it's on Netflix. Like if I have half an hour to an hour to kill, I'll stick on like a Royal Rumble or a Money in the Bank at WrestleMania kind of thing. So WWE being on Netflix has done so much for the lapsed and casual fan, because you can just stick it on. I have just found myself looking at NXT or the WWE roster and thinking, I don't know any of these people anymore. Like even a couple of years ago, I was still able to keep up with it despite never watching it. But now they're creating their own stars. Like, I don't know, people like Trick Williams and I'm going to say the name Nikisa Lyons, but I don't know if that is actually someone. Yeah, they seem to be focusing on, like, similar to OVW. But even then, OVW had indie stars. They're just pushing a lot more homegrown talent, so, like, there's a whole gaggle of roster right now that I had known nothing about. Which I think is good. I think it's a mixed bag. I liked very early, like, Black and Gold NXT, when they did have, like, the Dubstep Cowboys. And yeah, I saw Myra May potentially going to WWE. I'm going to make a bold statement and say that she just shouldn't. WWE currently have like a pretty great women's division, and it is only getting better. And obviously we all know AEW hasn't been the best at booking women throughout their time. They've gotten better recently, but throughout time I feel like they were kind of lost for a while. I think Mariah May can at least get bigger in AEW for a while. But maybe that's just me. I'd say give it a year. Give it another year and then go to WWE. Yapperman 2 is something I never thought I'd see. Right, not too much going on. How's Impact generally doing? Chad's Bets. Oh, I forgot. Both Jey Uso and Chad Gable have left WWE in this save. Katrina Walters. AEW have removed her from the roster page. That's a shame. That is a shame. Yeah, she was Katie Lee Burchill. I like the Paul Burchill storyline. I like Paul Burchill. I miss Paul Burchill. Seem to be losing my voice today, and I really don't know why. So I'm sorry if I sound like shit. Work is leaving. UCW. WWE. Alicia Fox is gone. Yeah, no one. Finn Diesel. No one specifically knew. Did they have Hideo Itami at that time? Or did they hire him? Anyway, Sakiyaki's pregnant. AJ Lee's pregnant. We're gonna get a little CM Punk. Jeff Cobb sustained some lower back pain. I did see a picture from, I don't know when AEW was held, that just said the end, and it seemed like it was Mariah May's leaving. I just think it'd be a shame is all. Alright, let's continue to Dynamite 11. What happened on this show? So we have the Texas Tag Team match, and MJF responds to Cody's challenge. So no one gets the night off. I'm once again happy in Daly's place. We kind of need to build up some money. Booking team meeting's fine. Caitlin, you keep showing up, man. We should offer you a match. There was a final match between Mariah May and Toni Storm. How was it? I assume good. Yeah, we could. You seem to really want to work here, Caitlin, so I will offer you a one-night deal. Then, if I remember, sign you to a contract. Shazza McKenzie and Chris Statlander getting on really well. Amazing. I haven't watched much recent AEW. Like, I've missed all Bryan Danielson's retirement and stuff. I've heard nothing but great things about their rivalry. DDP and Tommy Dreamer have bonded. Chris Jericho was fun to be around. AJ Lee. Bailey is having a degree of influence over Riho. Brandy and Bandido butted heads. The Blade has been passing on tips to Kevin Blackwood. The Blade's been passing on tips to Daniel Garcia. DDP ran some drills. Cody ran some drills. Nice. Solid little locker room. So we once again have our AEW Dynamite opening. Let's make this a hype, pre-taped video, just 2 minutes long to start with. Jericho, Cody, Mox, DDP, Jim Ross, Kenny Omega, Taz. That's fine with me. It is just a little hype video, and we're going straight away to a very quick Jon Moxley match. So Jon Moxley takes on Alex Reynolds. It's literally, Moxley comes in the ring, knees Reynolds, who doesn't even get a name, hits the paradigm shift for the win. That's it. We'll put it to 5 minutes. After the match, Moxley takes out Reynolds' tag partner John Silver as well. Takes out John Silver too. Silver as well. Yeah, probably does sound better than 2. 2 minutes. Jon Moxley. I guess just character development. Alex Reynolds non-speaking, John Silver non-speaking. Instantly after that, the inner circle surround the ring. Jericho gets in the ring and Mox tells him that if they were going to ambush Moxley, they would have already done it. The inner circle and I just want to say how we're impressed with you since coming to AEW. Jericho says, it's not a surprise because we have a long history together, you and me. When you first came onto the nationwide scene, you came to me and asked for some help. Jericho says after that they became adversaries and beat the living shit out of each other. Jericho says he's taught Mox how to be a main eventer and a champion. Jericho says he taught Mox how to be a star and a champion. Jericho says that Mox is now just starting to reach his full potential. He offers Moxley a spot in the group. Jericho says this isn't an answer he can give in one night and will give him some time. Perfect. I see surround the ring. He offers Mox spot. I see surround. No, smatter. Jericho says he taught a spot in the inner circle. God damn you, character limits. There we go. That's perfect. Chris Jericho cutting a promo. John Moxley on character development. And then Santana, just like everyone else on a non-speaking role. Sammy. Perfect. We then have a video package highlighting the feud between Proud and Powerful and the Young Bucks. This was so much easier when I had a second monitor. Highlighting the feud between Proud and Powerful. God, it would help if I could spell. That's actually what feud is. Yeah, there we go. And the Young Bucks. 3 minutes should do to hype, pre-taped video. Matt Jackson, Nick, Santana, and Ortiz. Perfect. That carries that feud on. And then we have the Butcher and the Blade against Cody Rhodes and QT Marshall. MJF has bankrolled the Butcher and the Blade in AEW. Tony is not the one paying for their contract. So Butcher and the Blade against QT and Cody. QT being there makes me think that Cody is not winning. Butcher trips Cody on the apron, and then the heels surround Marshall in the ring. Marshall tries to fight his way out with a series of strikes, but eats a stunner from the Blade and a lariat from the Butcher. Butcher and the Blade hit a suplex backstabber combo for the pin. Loser, specifically QT Marshall. Darby Allin comes out after the match and helps Cody and QT to the back. Perfect. This can do 2 minutes, should be fine. Cody, Blade, Bunny, Butcher. What's your plan for the rest of the day? I suck at this game. Since it's quite a nice Saturday actually. Though it looks like it could rain. MJF comes down to the ring with Wardlow. MJF is in the ring with Wardlow. MJF tells a crew member to get in the ring, says he saw him laughing when Cody made fun of MJF's crossroads. MJF made him kiss his AEW ring and then hit him with a crossroads. MJF says he heard Cody's proposal last week, but he says he doesn't need his crap or his money. He says he's got enough money to last him a lifetime. MJF says that Cody called him a knockoff Chris Jericho and insults him for needing to think of that one for hours. MJF says that Cody called his scarf fake. That's ironic, because when he thinks of the word fake, he thinks of Cody. MJF dares Cody to get Tony Khan to fire him. So MJF dares Cody to get Tony Khan to fire him, yeah. Play F1, move some Football Manager and watch the F1 qualifying later. It's fair, that sounds like a solid day. Not much. Depending on the weather, I might do a wash. But my washing machine is broken at the moment, so it doesn't actually spin. So stuff can be washed, as long as I don't do too big of a load. It just then comes out soaking wet. So it does take it needs to be in the sun for a couple of days to dry. It's like 22 degrees, what am I on about? It's a lovely weekend. So I might do that. Trying to get someone to fix it, but no one came. Other than that, probably play some Red Dead Redemption 2. Home alone with the cat this weekend. So, yeah. Lads. Every night I've just been drinking on my own because my friends are busy and watching Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro films, so does life get much better? It does actually. But I start work on my new job on Wednesday, so that should be nice. Sorry, let's carry on with this. Sometimes I'll just love the nattering portions of a stream. Sometimes I just need that companionship than booking. MJF says he'll take the match, but there'll be stipulations. And he'll give the stipulations on January 1st. Accepts Cody's challenge. Last night I was watching a live metal show. That's mental. One of the guys I watch is in a metal band and was invited to do a few songs. That's wild. That's genuinely so cool. I need to get into watching streamers. I don't really I'm not signed into my own Twitch account. 7 hours of metal music. As someone who likes, I grew up a big emo kid. So someone who would say they like some metal music. 7 hours of it. 7 hours of anything, man. That sounds like WrestleMania. Once it gets to the 4th or 5th, you're kind of zoning out. Yeah, I need to get into watching some streamers. I don't really use my Twitch account outside of to do this. That should be fine. 5 minutes is good. MJF putting a promo on Cody and Tony. And I guess we can also mention Chris Jericho, Wardlow in a non-speaking role. So we get another Dark Order vignette. I started watching for when he was doing GTA RP. Oh, GTA RP is class. It's something I would love to get into. I don't think I have the time or the effort to put in as much as I'd want to into it. But whenever I watch people doing it, it's so funny. A Dark Order offer Alex Reynolds and John Silver to join them. Imagine like doing GTA RP during the week. Are they in that storyline? No. Yeah, imagine doing GTA RP during the week and then Metal Band on the weekends. Alex Reynolds. They should probably do it on character development actually. With Evil Uno cutting a promo and Stu Grayson. I am very excited for whenever Brody Lee comes into this. With a big swole against Emi Sakura. His character was amusing, so he's doing metal in character as well. That's a great bit. I appreciate the dedication there. Sakura attempts a clothesline, but Swole counters her into a dirty dancing finisher for the pin. Nyman should be fine. Stick Big Swole over. Pac sends a warning to Omega and AEW. Says he will not be held accountable for what he does next. Nice. I'm happy that fit. So Pac cutting a promo on, I guess, Kenny Omega, John Moxley and Cody, and maybe Darby. Hype, oh not really hype. Serious, pre-taped video outside broadcast. Nice. We then have Kip Sabian and Sean Spears against Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. Who do you think is winning? Who looked at that match of Kip Sabian and Sean Spears taking on Page and Omega and thought, the crowd aren't going to know what hit them? Sabian goes for the Deathly Hallows, but Omega blocks it with a series of knees. Sabian comes right back with a Pele kick, but eats a nasty V-trigger. As both men reach for the tags, the lights go out, and when they come back on, Tully is tied up on the ramp with Joey Janela. Spears runs down the ramp and starts fighting with Janela. In the ring, Omega hits a Snapdragon suplex on Sabian, then connects with a V-trigger. Page blind tags Omega and hit the Buckshot Lariat for the win. So storyline. I don't know, do we need to add a separate one? He's only supporting. AEW, the Deathmatch Chairman. Tully, Sean, Joey. That's fine. I don't remember this angle, so I figure it won't necessarily last long. Let's have this match steal the show with Hangman Page winning. I guess, I don't know. Just a general distraction on Sean Spears by Joey Janela. Yeah, that's a good idea. Thank you very much for that, Andrew. That was me really. I didn't want to scroll up on the chat on the side, so I had to really remember what name he told me. And I felt like it was a toss-up between Andrew and Callum. I don't know why. It's early. I'm sure right. Get in, back of the net. For whatever reason, even though I'm streaming to this account, I can't type in my own chat. It makes me sign in again. And after doing this since January, I think I started streaming. No, just before Christmas. Maybe it was December. I haven't signed into my own chat, so I can't send anything. And currently, I usually have 2 monitors to do this. Makes everything a lot easier. Don't have my second one at the moment. Being used for work-based purposes. So if I try and like scroll up the chat just to check the name right, then this would go off, and everyone would see behind the scenes. If you want to see behind the scenes, so that's just how it goes at this moment. Even that looks a bit loud, but who cares? I'm just nattering. It's gonna be a long weekend. In a vignette, Brandy Rhodes runs down the women's division. Runs down the women's division. And says that her offer to Chris Statlander wants her. The fan from last week shows up and Brandy starts rubbing the bald head of what I think was a man, but the camera stopped showing. Oh yeah, I forgot we need to get someone to replace Luther. Brandy runs down the women's division and once again sends an offer to Chris Statlander. So Brandy cutting a promo on who else is kind of in this? Dasha Kong, Baby Allison, Jamie Hayter. Hayter? I didn't know it. Baby Allison, Malcolm Kong, non-speaking role. Is it Dr. Luther? He's well, we only see a bald head, but we know it's him. Who is Baby Allison? So, let me tell you who Baby Allison is. Obviously, during the save, did a lot of simming. Saw a lot of loading screens. And I'm a very easily influenced man by a good look, or a look that I think is fun. So one of these loading screens was a young wrestler, a young female wrestler by the name of Baby Allison. German, 25. Still wrestles now. Doesn't have the best of reviews on Cage Match. But as soon as I saw this look, I was like, that's class. Yeah, I was like, maybe do something with the Baden and the bunny. But she's basically been a replacement for whenever I occasionally don't have a wrestler, I will kind of like fill in Baby Allison into that gap. So she's 2 wins and 4 losses. So that's not the end of the world. Again, yeah, she could probably do something with Priscilla Kelly. If Priscilla Kelly isn't signed to WWE at this point, I can't remember. She isn't, she's with us. Who else does she defeat? Oh, she teamed with Emi Sakura to defeat Shida and Chris Statlander. Who was that to replace? There was someone I didn't have on the roster. Baby Allison. She has a great nickname that I like. Oh, the Witch Bitch of Wrestling, based in Frankfurt. I just like, there's better pictures of her than that one that we have there. So maybe searching Baby Allison on Google Images also just gives you a bunch of pictures of babies that are presumably called Allison. Yeah, so maybe I'll make some better cuts. But I just thought she had a great look and just hired her. There's a few people like that, probably on this roster. Though I have tried to stay as AEW as possible. I like to follow what's actually happening, and then kind of... Like, Danshoku Dano is hired just to replace Michael Nakazawa. Because for whatever reason, I hate Michael Nakazawa. So this is a serious, pre-taped video outside broadcaster. Yeah, I try and run things as historically accurate week by week as I can. And then just kind of change a few bits that I don't like or add in wrestlers that I would prefer to be pushed over others. So up next we have Sammy Guevara against Luchasaurus. In a match that'll probably be a wild brawl. Maybe cut that down to 10 minutes. Put this one as a wild brawl. What's going on? Sammy attempts a moonsault off the top, but Lucha moves and Sammy lands on his feet, and then attempts a shooting star press. Luchasaurus catches him by the throat in midair, then gets up and hits the extinction for the win. It's fun reading these reviews of the shows just after that happened, because people are like, like Jungle Boy isn't connecting with anyone, he can't really do anything, and then it's like, he's going to become a big star. Though where is he now? I don't know. Jericho and Hager hit the ring. Hager hit the ring and attack Lucha, but Jungle Boy makes the save. The ring to attack Luchasaurus. Jungle Boy makes the save. Jungly Boy makes the save. I'm not good at typing and talking. Also, as soon as I saw that when Luchasaurus turned on Jungle Boy, I was like, that's the end of his career. Like, he's going to eventually be released. He was Marco Stunt was the weak link, but in terms of Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy, he was the weak link. And the fact he's gone on to arguably do even better than Jungle Boy and is still like dossing about with Christian. Even the name Kill Switch is so much better than Luchasaurus. Like, fair play to him. And for our main event, we have the Texas Street Fight to become #1 contender for the AEW Tag Team titles. So can we do a 2v2 hardcore? Can we do it? There we go. So we will do Proud and Powerful against the Young Bucks. Another little fun thing about this save is we currently have the Mexa brothers. You may ask, where is Rey Fenix? Broke his neck quite early on in the save, is out for like a full year. Similarly, I think, was it Nick Jackson? Yeah, so Rey Fenix kind of... Similarly, I think, I need to check the news. Yeah, Matt Jackson got injured with a torn rotator cuff and was basically out for about 6-ish months, maybe? How long was it? So he had his first match at All in September 2018. Wrestled for New Japan, everything was fine. Wait, is this his... Oh, all matches, there we go. Yeah, wrestled all the way up to... His last match was defeating the Briscoes in November 2018. Couldn't wrestle again until October 2019. So that's great. So during that full time, it was just matches. I just did the Golden Books. I was like, Kota's not doing anything. He kind of came in... Yeah. Just do AEW and make life a whole lot easier. He kind of, in all those early matches, just kind of came in and replaced any time that Matt Jackson was in a match. But all's good now. He's back. We've got the books. I can handle Rhea Fenix not being here. I can't handle the books. What are our general absences? Yeah, Fenix out for another 30 days, but there's always a risk after a broken neck that they will return and retire. AJ Styles got chronic hip pain in the WWE. Yeah, was released from WWE after losing to Rhino, of all people, in July. Did a tour of Wrestle 1, all's fun. Got chronic pain, out for a year. Angelico similarly. He was at All In, losing to the Dark Order, all's good. Got a major concussion. Jeff Cobb's out for 6 days. Madison Ray and Shanna on maternity leave, I can't argue about. Right, Proud and Powerful against the Young Bucks in a Texas street fight to become #1 contenders. Nick hits a series of strikes on Ortiz, followed by a bulldog onto the chairs. Super kick party to Ortiz, and Matt holds a chair against Ortiz's head, and then Nick super kicks it. The Bucks hit the Melter driver for the win. Solid, happy with that. Matt Jackson could do with the win, make the storytelling. Should we put in a couple of stunt bumps? Everyone but Matt Jackson can do a stunt bump. And then Dynamite goes off your air as SCU and Young Bucks do a set down. Perfect. It's I don't know, Santana, Ortiz, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and then Frankie, Daniels, and Scorpio. How long do we need? 4 minutes? We can make this like 2 and just extend. Oh, let's add in another match. Let's have a tag match between... Let's do the women's division. Let's do... who is going to be pushed that needs to be? Who's unimportant? Yeah, I'm going to do 2... I always do 2 dark matches anyway. Riho could do with a win. So then we'll also do... Let's do just Riho and Shida. They could do with just being a little higher up. Against... Priscilla Kelly and Abaddon should be fine. How long do we need? 2 minutes. I don't know, make this 7. Stick Riho over. That's fine. That slots in nicely. Excuse me. Just there. And then we could do a 3v3 with the Blade, the Butcher. Nice to see the bunnies recognisable. Blade, the Butcher, and the Bunny against PCO. Maybe this would have been a good time. Let's do Mizunami and men's. T-Hawk. See, I feel I did like go out and kind of hire too many people. Could just stick Alan Angels in it. Yeah, whatever. PCO, Ryo, and Alan Angels. 9 minutes should be fine. Stick the blade over. And then we can just do a 1v1 as anyone else once again unimportant. Probably Wardlow actually. Taking on Face Brandon Cutler. I was going to say, I feel like we've done this match. We've done this match twice. What's the harm? 2 minutes, and it's a Wardlow domination. Nice. What's book analysis saying? Matt Jackson, the Butcher and the Blade, and QT Marshall are used too much. Understandable. 70% matches, and we're at 75. So in a pre-show about that, Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, the Butcher, the Blade, and the Bunny defeated Ryo Mizunami, PCO, and Alan Angels, when the Blade pinned Alan Angels, the neckbreaker. Wardlow defeated Brandon Cutler in 205 with a Splash Mountain Powerbomb. Butcher and the Blade are wrestling the show. I guess they're wrestling twice. I didn't even think. AEW Dynamite opening. This is why we filter by already booked. An extremely short match, Moxley defeated Alex Reynolds in 4:37 with a Death Rider. After the match, Mox takes out John Silver as well. The Inner Circle surround the ring. Jericho says he taught Mox how to be a star and a champion, and he offers John Moxley a spot in the Inner Circle. We got a video package highlighting the feud between Proud and Powerful and the Young Bucks. And in a bout which had decent wrestling but didn't have much heat. I need to change the bunny. Why has that not came up before? The Butcher and the Blade defeated QT Marshall and Cody when the Butcher submitted QT Marshall. Darby Allin comes out after the match to help Cody and QT to the back. MJF's in the ring with Wardlow. MJF dares Cody to get Tony Khan to fire him while accepting Cody's challenge, but he says there will be a stipulation to their match, and he'll announce that stipulation January 1st. Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, Riho and Shida defeated Abaddon and Priscilla Kelly when Riho pinned Abaddon with a jumping knee attack. The Dark Order offer Alex Reynolds and John Silver to join them. And then in a terrible match, Big Swole defeated Emi Sakura in 8:37 with a Blue Thunder Bomb. Pac sends a warning to Omega and AEW. Says he will not be held accountable for what he does next. Bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Omega and Hangman defeated Kip Sabian and Shawn Spears when Hangman pinned Sabian with a Deadeye. During the match we had Joey Janela distract Spears. Brandy runs down the women's division and once again sends an offer to Chris Statlander. In a decent wild brawl, Luchasaurus defeated Sammy Guevara in 9:37 by submission. Jericho and Hager hit the ring and attack Luchasaurus, but Jungle Boy makes the save. And then in our main event, in a bout which had decent reaction from the crowd and good wrestling, the Bucks become the #1 contenders for the AEW World Tag Team titles by defeating Proud and Powerful in a hardcore match in 21:37 when Jackson pinned Ortiz with a Meltzer driver. 3 people took some bumps, that went well. Dynamite goes off air as SCU and the Bucks do a stare down. Everyone got some, all bunch of green. 73, once again I'll take that. Matt Jackson being used too much because he couldn't gain popularity because he was out for a whole year. Perfect. I think we can squeeze another one in. Jesus, it's 11 o'clock. Where does the day go? Ugh. I'm thinking of maybe in my spare time running a WWE save. Because this mod starts in August 2018. Did you see the name of Vince McMahon's new sport, media, and entertainment company has been revealed? I will say, a local to global in 2018 could definitely be interesting because there's such good stars. What best viewers on streamboo.com? Thank you, Automatic Fit. GF, GJF, GS, Mr. BK Nbs. So how was NXT? Excellent. They really struck gold. AEW, great. Alright. Our show, we got a 73. Solid. Their show, 79. Alistair Black defeated Dijak to retain the NXT title. Solid. Absolutely solid. I feel like they did have a few matches. They always slapped. That's fine. Nikki Cross defeated Shayna Baszler. Candice LeRae defeated Taynara Conti. Just want to check this again. This Io Shirai, my apologies, match. Also containing... God, it's going to break it. There we go. This match was NXT's go-to for the majority of this save so far. They will run this match and it'll always be better than anything I put on. Candice LeRae looking great in that picture. Otis and the Mighty defeated Keith Lee and the Apron Dwellers, which is Brennan Williams and Eric Bugenhagen. He seemed like such a star when he got released. I couldn't believe it. Solid. I wouldn't say it was better than our show, but it was solid. We got 170,000, not bad. That seems like such a jump for our... Maybe it isn't. But I think it's gone down. Alright, we can go to one more show. That'll be fine. Might just make another coffee while we sing. Ugh. I enjoy this save because I can kind of just get 3 or 4 TV shows in. Fills up like an hour and a half to 2 hours. It's a nice little save. Well, sorry, a nice little stream. The perfect size. And now I have all of these rendered, so I have like a bunch of videos to put up out of it. I just want to plug the Stan Miguel YouTube channel, which lost a subscriber yesterday. Whoever you are. We went from 69 to 68. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I imagine it was... Because I used to stream... This account was almost exclusively Tony Hawk's games at the start. And then I kind of breezed through the ones I actually wanted to play, and now it's like, don't really want to play anything else. I want to play TEW. So I imagine half the people that did follow both this account and the YouTube channel were people that actually liked the Tony Hawk stuff. Which is fair. I'd play Tony Hawk's Underground 1 again. It was the best one. 2 kind of sucked. American Wasteland kind of sucked. Which I know sounds like sacrilege. But if you actually play through them again now, 1 holds up the best. I'm willing to die on that hill. Jerry Lynn! Do we have Jerry Lynn? I imagine we would. I try to hire most of the road agents and backstage people and, like... What is it? Interferers? Interviewers. Just because I like that bit of authenticity. Perfect, I've got my coffee. I will say to anyone that wants to run this save, or do at least a realistic AEW kind of save, you have to put in a lot of admin. Like, I had to put in 2 extra events at one point. Just because A, you'll bleed money, you'll lose a lot of popularity. And there are narratives in to fix that. So once kind of Dynamite really starts, you are in a good position, financially and popularity and momentum-wise, to get a TV deal and everything's fine. It's not perfect, you won't get like the ITV deal and TNT and all that stuff. But you can do it. It is just like months and months and months of sinning. So it's not recommended for a stream, I would say. But if you don't mind and you just want to start Dynamite straight away and book your own stuff, that works too. Yeah, I think a local to global could be fun in 2018. And maybe a WWE one, because I'm kind of interested to see what state's that in. But I do feel like I would get... Oh, sorry, I need to a couple of weeks into a 2018 WWE save and not enjoy it. Because it's just too much. Too much for me, anyway. I'm just a little boy. But to be fair, I can't fully remember what happens. I'd love a 2013, 14, 15 one. Even 16 leading up to the first brand split. Not first brand split, just that brand, the 2016 brand split. Braun Strowman, who is of course noted for his great physique, has courted controversy by posting on social media that he thinks any wrestler who are not in shape are unprofessional. The comments, that sounds like Braun Strowman, the comments generated angry response from Rhino, who said while he wasn't his physical specimen like Braun, he could still work great matches and that diversity in wrestling should be praised. You go, Rhino. Rhino was recently in what, like, was it Ring of Honor or AEW? And big pop, man. Anyone that has any issues with someone booking Rhino, so Rhino's the best. That's unnecessarily aggy. What happened to Dalton Castle defeated Jay Lethal, Flip Gordon and Brent Tate. It's fun that Dalton Castle also beat one of his boys. To retain the Arrow World title, Colt defeated Sabin. Kong defeated Bordeaux, Tennille and Mandy. Solid enough. I just can't wait to take them over. So then eventually I can have a developmental and send all these boys down until they debut. Right, what are we on? I didn't actually set up for this Dynamite. Dynamite! I forgot we need to hire someone who's like an old kind of deathmatchy dude. I need someone to replace Dr. Luther wrestling. Style... I don't know. Psychopath. You have a great look. Your dude will shortlist you for the future. Yeah, let's bring in Jun Kasai. Just a handshake for about... We'll do 3 months and assess it. That's fine. I only need you for... what was I going to say? Need you to replace Dr. Luther. Right, we should have to wait 3 months to get AEW Dark. When did our show debut? October. So maybe in the new year we can get AEW Dark on, and then that will just be a show that I auto book and run. But they don't really have the show till Collision, so it's not too bad. I could just run Dynamite, to be fair. I'm not really losing out on anything with Dark. Alright, sorry. I need to load up the results and I keep forgetting. AEW Dynamite results for the 18th of December. Yes. Six matches advertised. Lucha Brothers against Omega and Page. That kind of slaps. Butcher and the Blade against Cody and Darby. That again slaps. Kong against Melanie. Oh, Melanie Cruz is also there. Oh, she's the fan, isn't she? See, she beats... We don't need psychopaths anymore. I forget Nick Cage was on AEW at one point. I believe she goes to work in... I don't know if it's NXT or ROH after a while. No Ironclad, we can do 6 months. Melanie Cruz. Let's get you in for a year. And then... we have Chris Jericho against Jungle Boy. That's the main event. No, it's not. Chris Statlander against Britt Baker. That's fine. Oh, the main event is the Bucks against SCU. And then we have a Dark Order kind of bit. That's fine, we don't have to hire anyone else. Perfect. Dynamite. It's Tuesday, you know what that means, or Wednesday, sorry. No one gets the night off, once again. Pick best option, we're in Daly's place. Booking team meeting is fine, locker room incidents. Brandy got in an argument with Excalibur, so did T-Hawk, so did Asha Kong, so did Pac. DDP ran some drills. Cody ran some drills. Rick Knox gave some fun impressions. The Blade passed on tips to Blackwood and Garcia. Daniels passed on tips to Austin Gunn. QT passed on tips to Anna Jay. Nice. So once again we have our Dynamite. Who's our absent workers? Is it just people? Yeah, people who are injured or on maternity leave. Angle, AEW, Dynamite. Opening. 2 minutes, it's a hype, pre-taped video. That's Cody Fallen. DDP, Jim Ross. Stick Brett in it, why not? It's just a little hype video to get a good rating to start the show. Build up a bit of momentum. Then our first match is the Lucha Brothers against Kenny and Hangman. Or the Mexa Brothers. Kenny and Hangman against the Mexa Brothers. I feel like Kenny and Hangman were an actual team. Omega holds Pentagon as Page goes for the buckshot lariat, but Pentagon moves and then Penta kills Page with a super kick. The Lucha Brothers hit the Fear Factor Get Us Stop combo for the pin. They were a team, weren't they? Let's have this match steal the show. Because didn't they win the tag titles and then kind of feud? Did they have a name? Or were they just Omega and Hangman? Omega and Hangman, yeah. storyline. Hangman Page. Nice. Page gets in Omega's face. Pac interrupts by attacking Dino. To distract Omega. So the Mexa brothers attack Omega and Page in the ring. Mexa brothers attack Omega until Page saves. So Page gets in Omega's face and Pac's on the big screen, and he's like, "Do you remember me, Kenny?" Attacks Dino to distract Omega, gets a cameraman to follow him. The Mexa brothers then attack Omega until Page saves. Yeah. So Kenny, character development, same with Hangman. And Dino and Penta, and then we'll just use Shoku Dino, non-speaking role. You're just a man to be attacked. We then have the Butcher and the Blade against Cody and Darby. That can be our wild brawl. It looks like Alan's knees got caught in the ropes as he went for a suicide dive. Cody hits a disaster kick on the Butcher, and then Alan hits the coffin drop on the apron. Blade rolls Cody up for a near fall, but Cody comes back with the Cody Cutter for the win. Uh, 13 minutes, Cody, wild brawl. Jungle Boy training montage as he prepares for Chris Jericho. Nice. Just a outside broadcast video, pre-taped. Jericho off screen. Perfect. We have Awesome Kong against, it will be Miranda Relays, but instead we can just have Awesome Kong beat Shazza. Kong kills Miranda with a spinning back fist and then the implant buster for the win. Jungle Boy then does a JR sit down interview with Jungle. Who says he wishes his dad was here and he's not scared of Jericho. We can just do Y2J, we know what we mean. Jim Ross is the interviewer. Jungle Boy cutting a promo on Chris. Nice. Everyone coming together quite easily on this show. Not as nice as the first coffee that I made. So we have the non-title match between Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy with a 10-minute time limit. We all remember what happens here. Jungle Boy fights back with a series of forearms, then goes for a backdrop, but Jericho powerbombs him and locks in the walls. Jericho fights and claws his way to the ropes, but Jericho pulls him back and the center sits back. Jungle Boy fights and the time expires. Jericho demands 5 more minutes and gets back in the ring and begins slapping Jungle Boy repeatedly. Jericho tosses Jungle Boy over the top, but he skins the cat and hits a Hurricane Rana. Jericho kicks out, but Jungle Boy pops back down and rolls him up with a crucifix for another near fall, which means Jericho immediately bails and walks up the ramp. Draw. Time limit finish. If you're always going to be furious anyway, there's no point in me keeping you strong. Oh, he's very happy already anyway. Jericho demands 5 more minutes. Jungle Boy gets 2 quick roll-ups. So Chris bails instead. Nice. I need to stop saying nice after everything. Chris Jericho and Jungle Boy. There's a little 3-minute thing. Jericho is interviewed by Schiavone. He says Jungle Boy will get his later. And says on Jan 1st he has a surprise for Mox. So Tony Schiavone is the interviewer. Chris Jericho cutting a promo on John Mox and Jungle Boy. Backstage, SCU cut a promo about their match against the Young Bucks. SCU cut a promo on the Bucks. Pentagon says they don't think Daniels has it anymore. Cut a promo on the Bucks. Pentagon says... No, I put as 2 words. Pentagon says he thinks Daniels is over. He's done. It's probably better. Scorpio, Frankie, and Chris Daniels. Pentagon on character development with Bandito. Matt and Nick Jackson. Screen. Backstage. We then have Statlander against Britt Baker. Chris Statlander, Britt Baker. Do we have any updates on what's going on with Britt Baker? Is she back? Is she not back? Statlander hits the ropes but runs into a super kick and then Baker locks in the lockjaw. Statlander powers up to her feet and drops her with the Big Bang Theory for the win. Statlander goes over. Schiavone tries to interview. What if we keep you strong, Baker? Nice. Tony tries to interview Chris, but is interrupted by Brandy. Brandy tells Schiavone to leave and congratulates her in the win. Statlander refuses to join the Nightmare Collective, so Brandy cheap shots here. Tony, interview. Brandy, cutting a promo with Chris. Awesome Kong, non-speaking. Dr. Luther, non-speaking. 2 minutes should be fine. Backstage, Sean Spears and Tully Blanchard say that tag teams actually matter in AEW, so they're searching for a partner. This could be when we had Brock Anderson now. Tully and Spears say tag team wrestling matters, so they're looking for a partner. I wonder, one, I can't remember who is this partner, and two, I feel like there's probably infinitely like the chance that we could come up with someone better. Let's just stick Joey off screen for this bit. So Vignette hypes up SCU against the Young Bucks. SCU versus Young Bucks tag team title match. Do we have any? Maybe it could be a good time to bring Charlie Dempsey in instead as Sean Spears' tag partner. Almost like a Regal Dave Taylor scenario, but with Tully Blanchard, Charlie Dempsey, and Sean Spears. SCU, Frankie Kazarian, Scorpio Sky, Christopher Daniels, there he is, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and we can also stick Penta, Bandido, Santana and Ortiz in this. Just to run through what's happened in the last couple of days. Bucks say they are close friends with SCU. Perfect. 2v2. Who do we have? Oh, it's Kaz and Scorpio against the Young Bucks. Matt fights out and manages to toss Kaz into Sky to break up a hold. Matt and Kazarian exchange strikes, and Kazarian goes for a whip, but Matt Jackson counters it into a tombstone. Sky blind tags himself in and knocks Nick off the apron. Kaz hits a slingshot DDT onto Nick on the apron, and K-Sky gets a near fall on Matt. Sky hits the TKO and tags Kazarian back in. SCU hits the SCU later on Matt for the pin. Loser, Nick, storytelling. AEW World Tag Team. Perfect. The Creepers surround the ring and the lights go out. Dark Order appear and congratulate SCU. Evil Uno says they would usually ask the Young Bucks to join the Dark Order after such a loss, but tonight is about initiation, and the Creepers attack SCU. Alex Reynolds and John Silver also attack SCU and the Bucks as the Creepers overwhelm them. Cody, Dustin, and Kenny Omega run out, but the numbers are too much. Stu Grayson pulls out 2 masks and Uno hands them to Reynolds and Silver. They put them on and have joined the Dark Order. Evil Uno wipes Matt Jackson's blood on his hand and holds it up. The Creepers and the Dark Order attack SCU and the Bucks. Omega, Cody, and Dustin try to save but can't. That's good enough for me. So we have Alex Reynolds, John Silver, Evil Uno kind of cut the promo, Stu Grayson on character development, then Scorpio, Frankie, Christopher Daniels, Matthew Jackson, Nicholas Jackson, Kenny, Cody, and Dustin. And that can end the show. Boop. Stable. Dark Order. Let's add Alex Reynolds. And John Silver. So Dark Order, yeah, that's fine. Alex Reynolds with Evil Uno. John Silver, Evil Uno. So what are we missing? Chris Jericho's furious, that's all. 71%, so will not be penalised. Oh, we forgot to do dark matches. That's fine. AEW Dynamite opening. Did I actually press back? Hangman has separated his shoulder. That's great. Love that. Superb wrestling and good heat. The Mexa Brothers defeated Omega and Hangman in 1402 when Bandido pinned Omega with a Revolution Fly. Pac gets in Omega's face. Pac interrupts by attacking Dino to distract Omega. The Mexa Brothers attack Omega until Page saves. In a decent wild brawl, Cody and Darby defeated the Butcher and the Blade when Cody pinned the Butcher with a disaster kick. It's annoying. That'll do. That'll do until we can turn them. Jungle Boy training montage as he prepares for Chris Jericho. An extremely short match, Kong defeated Shazza McKenzie in 207 by submission. Jim Ross does a sit-down interview with Jungle Boy. He says he wishes his dad was here and he's not scared of Jericho. Then, in a bout of good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Jungle Boy drew with Chris Jericho in 10 minutes when the time limit expired. Jericho demands 5 more minutes. Jungle Boy gets 2 quick roll-ups, so Chris bails instead. Jericho is interviewed by Schiavone. He says Jungle Boy will get his later, and says on January 1st he has a surprise for Jon Moxley. SCU cut a promo on the books, but Pentagon says he thinks Daniels is done. Subpar Wrestling and Little Heat, Chris Statlander defeated Britt Baker in 11-11 by pinfall with an Area 451. Tony tries to interview Chris but is interrupted by Brandy. Statlander refuses to join the Nightmare Collective, so Brandy cheap shots her. Tully and Spears say tag team wrestling matters, so they are looking for a partner. A video hypes up the SCU against Young Bucks title match. And in the main event, in about good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, SCU defeated the Young Bucks when Kaz pinned Nick Jackson with an SCU later to make defense number 3 of the AEW World Tag Team titles. The Creepers and the Dark Order attack SCU and the Bucks. Omega, Cody and Dustin try to save but can't. Not the best of shows put on. Alright, he's out for 25 days. We can work around that. That's why we have wrestlers. At least it's only 25 days. Lost a little bit of pop in the southeast, but we can survive through that. Well, with that said, I want to thank you very much, Andrew, for popping in and chatting with me. It means the world. Depending on how the day goes, maybe I'll do another one of these later. Probably gonna have some lunch. Put a wash on. It's lunch now, it should have been breakfast. Put a wash on. Play some Red Dead. I need to do some editing of some of the Tony Hawk's videos, but we'll see if I get around to that. Anyway, cheers, King. enjoy the F1, enjoy Football Manager. I suggest playing as Hartlepool. That's a team you should try and get out. Get into League 2. Once you get to League 2 with Hartlepool, it's a nightmare. Stay safe, enjoy, and have a lovely afternoon.